For generations the Whitewood lay in the hands of the corrupt, men who bled the land and broke the spirits of those bound beneath them. The smallfolk toiled, starved, and suffered in silence. For 6 long months they waited for the opportune moment to take what was long denied, and in the dead of night the smallfolk rallied with what weapons and strength they could muster, and rebellion swept through the Whitewood like wildfire. The tyrants were cast down, their blood feeding the roots of the forests they had defiled, and from the ashes rose a new age, a new name, the House of Blackbirch. By shadow, by flame, by right. Hello and welcome back to a Game of Thrones. It has been 6 long months since my last video in the mod, but finally, the people's prayers have been answered. Before we get stuck in, just a few things. I am playing on the default game settings. We are in the Rogue Prince start date. And once again, I will be accepting your guys' name suggestions for my children. So, a few rules around that. Leave 1 name suggestion at a time. Specify whether it's for a son or daughter. Once I have used that name, you are then free to request another, with priority given to channel members, of course. But anyway, a new dynasty is born. Greetings, my lord. The Citadel sent me once they received word of your rise to lordship. No, I am not your maester. I am here to make a record of your new station and the birth of your new house. That is if you will allow me to make such a record for the Citadel. Why, of course, Maester Costin. You are welcome in my halls, and already there seemed to be a new event which I'm not familiar with. I haven't really played the mod too much, so you guys are going to have to fill me in and point me in the right direction. Right, certainly, Costin. What would you wish to know about the sacred Whitewood here in the Riverlands? I can now set my birthplace by right-clicking on any landed character's portrait and selecting set birthplace. Okay, I will do that for myself afterwards. Let's do this first, though. So, this will not take long. It is for a summary of your house birth, not an in-depth history or ambitions. Shall we start with how you obtained your lordship and your past life? I've read the flavor text for these. None of these really apply to the story that I laid out in the introduction. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'm thinking we could be a soldier. We're not really a soldier, though. I think I earned my title by knowing secrets. I learned some corrupt things that the previous lords did, and it finally allowed me to rally the smallfolk before we set off on our grand rebellion which burned the Whitewood, which is extra lore. I'll show you my house words and all of that soon. I'm a bit overwhelmed with excitement because it's been so bloody long. Right, so I earned my title by knowing secrets. That gives us... So we lose prestige, we lose piety, we gain dread, we gain some nice gold, and I also gain a torturer dagger artifact. Interesting. And we get Dynasty-born Blackmailer for 35 years, but I can't seem to actually get over there to see what that is. So, there we go. Right, that gives us negative general opinion, which I think makes sense because we're a peasant leader. And we get some hostile scheme buffs there. Right, let's pick that. I earned my title by knowing my secrets, and we also get a hook on our liege there, which is interesting. Some new lords wish to pay tributes to someone who is close to them in record of their house. Do you have anyone you wish to honor as such? I have no one. I worked the fields alone, raised myself, and now here I am, at the head of House Blackbirch. The maester quickly makes some scribbles of all I had told him. Once done, he looks up at me from his notes. Well, this should suffice for a summary, my lord. I wish you the best going forward, says the maester with a bow. Please, Maester Costin, I have need of your services. I am new to ruling. Please stay as my maester. He is weak and homely, but he's still a physician, and we do need a maester, and I'd rather not spend the gold early on. So let's do that. Right. It said that I can also select my birthplace, which I guess is in here. Set birthplace. You can select any of Lord Arwood's counties as your place of birth. We were born and raised in the Whitewood. We have a single castle to start, no special buildings that I know of. So this is truly the kind of playthrough where I like, where we start with nothing and we work our way up. Also, we don't have dragon blood or anything like this. Maybe that could be one of our long-term goals, but as you guys know, I don't play to rush to the Iron Throne or whatnot. I play to get immersed in my character's story, and so we will see what happens. Hopefully, this will be another long Game of Thrones playthrough. So, we are starting as Lord AGOT Blackbirch of the White Woods. Of course, in the introduction, we learned of the recent rebellion. We burnt down the forest and the corruption of the previous lords, and that is why we have but a burnt birch tree as our sigil. Simple and humble beginnings. Looking at our stats, they are nothing impressive. Intrigue is the highest because we did have to learn of those secrets. Prowess, you know, is average, and everything else is either poor. In fact, everything else is poor. Not even average. We are ambitious. AGOT knows what he wants, and he is not afraid to try and get it. We are vengeful. AGOT is slow to forget a slight or someone who does him wrong. And we are also cynical. AGOT trusts the self-interest of others above all else. We are an incompetent commander, a defender, which seems to have been given to me randomly because I didn't select that. But I like that. We are here to defend the White Wood and its peoples. We are a peasant leader. AGOT is a jumped-up peasant who revolted against his betters. We are Hale. My family have worked the fields for generations, or I guess the forests, you know, cutting down wood, making tools for the local lords and whatnot. And the neophyte fighters. As you can see, we are not very impressive at all, but I like that. I like that a lot. We don't have a wife. We don't have any children. We are the founder of House Blackbirch, and our words are by shadow, by flame, by rights. I don't know. I like them. Right, first things first. We're gonna have to find a wife. And one important thing in Westeros is alliances. So, I would like to find a fellow lord or a fellow family in the Riverlands to hopefully form a long-term alliance with. Let's see. We'll go for like an age difference of 10. Can I set culture here? I can. Riverlanders. There we go. We'll see who we can find here. So, we have the Langwoods. I think they're a bit too far away for my liking. I would like someone a little bit closer, but not too close, because we will probably have expansion on our cards. What about House Perrin? Sorry, over here. Okay, they're not... Oh, no, they are quite far away. Not super far away, but I would like someone a little bit closer. We have House Wold here. Okay, they're not too far away. Just down south of the river by Harrenhal, which is also a nearby great castle, which could have implications in our story. I would like someone a little closer. What about House Charlton's, just up the river by the Twins? I think right now, House Charlton are probably the ones I'm going to go for. Let's just see if we can find anyone a bit closer. If I zoom out, I'll be able to see them in the background there. In fact, I think we're going to stick with House Charlton. So good old Carolyn here. She is brave, content, stubborn, and curious. So you don't like cravens. I'm not a craven. What don't I like? I don't like ambitious characters because I'm also ambitious and zealous. She would be a perfect match for us. She's also pretty good at stewardship as well, so she could help us with that. Let us send a proposal. I won't do a grand wedding because we don't have many riches or whatnot. And before we continue, I do want to take a look at our culture and faith. So, we are the Riverlander culture. We are festive. All characters gain diplomacy, intrigue, extra diplomatic range, direct vassal opinion, and popular opinion. That's quite nice. We have Andor blood. We speak the common tongue. And martial is men only. We look at our traditions down here. So we have turmoil on the trident. The just trait is more common. Children are more likely to get the charming trait. So that's diplomacy and intrigue. Maybe we could go for a more diplomatic approach, especially early on, instead of war, because we don't have a lot of men-at-arms and whatnot. The forestry line of buildings have additional bonus in counties of this culture. I can recruit river bows as men-at-arms. So we're going to want river bows who actually have buffs in cloud forests, tigers, forests, which is good because we have forest ourselves. So we're going to be focusing on that. Gain a decision to recruit commanders with the Forder trait. Ooh, that's going to be important if we do fight. And then buildings and holdings are cheaper to construct in Tiger and forest. Very nice stuff. The Trident is a land that has seen much warfare throughout its long history. Its central position making it a battlefield for wars not even of its own making. It has changed hands many times, with both Stormlanders and Ironmen invading and subjugating the Riverlords. This continual adversity has taught the Rivermen to use their homeland to their advantage, both in war and peace. I love the flavor text. We're going to be reading all of this. If you haven't guessed already, I am a slower player of CK3. We already have family business. Base progress and skill impact on counselor tasks is increased by 10% for close family members. Counselor? Okay. So I'm already thinking maybe for Dynasty Legacy, we could be thinking about kin, although I think we also have a Riverlander one, right? We'll have to look. Court position aptitude for close family members plus 20. Very nice. And lose prestige when revoking titles from close family. Okay. And all close family like us a little bit more. This culture encourages businesses to develop along familial lines, each generation picking up the tools and techniques of their trade from the last, building a strong tradition of ancestral professionalism. I like it. We also have hit and run tacticians, all Riverlander characters. We get retreat losses minus 10%, friendly fatal casualties minus 10%, and then skirmishers and light cavalry gain more damage and screen. This culture has mastered the use of lightly armored units to hit the enemy hard and then fall back. I like it. Life is just a joke. Gregarious, content, cynical, and fickle trait gives an increased opinion towards characters of the same culture. I mean, we're cynical, so that's interesting. Characters of this culture lose stress on receiving a declaration of war, and characters take bolder actions, and it is harder to make them intimidated or terrified. Improves the arbitrary arrests countermeasures. That's the new intrigue stuff. This culture would chuckle on the chopping block with an axe above its head. And then lastly, we are strong believers. The zealous and humble traits are more common. Characters are less likely to accept conversion, and county conversion resistance plus 30%. Opinion of different faiths though, minus 15. The people of this culture are particularly zealous and dedicated to the faith. And then of course, the Tullys of the cultural head of the Riverland. Oh, it feels weird saying the Tullys. It's been such a long time since I've done this, but I'm looking forward to it. How are our innovations? We have pretty much everything there. We're missing... Oh no, this is cultural stuff. But we can research like Dusk Spears, anti-dragon warfare. Oh, dragons as well. How could I forget the bloody dragons? Oh man, I'm getting excited. It'll be a while before we ride one if we do though. And we're just getting started with the Steel Age, right? Okie dokie. Speaking of dragons, we have to go and take a look, don't we? What's the best way to do this? Probably the character. There they are. Oh, Vhagar is looking beautiful. So is Cannibal. And I must say, the performance improvements are marvelous. No complaints from me. Brilliant job. Right, lifestyle. Should we go with Martial? I'm actually thinking of going Intrigue, because we do have a high Intrigue stat, 16. And I think we might be avoiding war to begin with. Let's make it a little bit more interesting, eh? So we're going to go Intrigue. I'm going to go Skullduggery focus. Oh, yes, we have extra trees as well. The Spider Tree. I forgot about this. Right, we'll have to decide when we get a perk. I do have a Martial perk. So let's get... for a moment, I thought my game wasn't in English. I'm going to get Stalwart Leader. I am the peasant leader. It makes sense that I would command any armies if we do have to go to war. I can't choose a patron aspect because I don't have piety. Also, we haven't looked at the faith. I'll do that in just a minute. No player heir. I'm married off. Let's see. Stationed men-at-arms. So we start with some riverbows and some bargemen, which I think have the same stats as their counterparts. They just have much more terrain buffs, which is nice. So let's get the riverbows stationed. They're going to get a bunch of extra stats. And we'll take a quick look at the Faith of the Seven. Why not? The Faith of the Seven is the dominant religion of Westeros. The majority of the people and lands are counted among the faithful. And all the kings of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men, in addition to being members, have sought crowning by the High Septon. The faith is built upon the revelations and truths as laid out in the Seven-Pointed Star, and is led by the guidance of the most devout and High Septon. And if we take a look at this, we have a lot of tenets. So we have communal identity, conversion speed in counties of my culture, and faith, promote culture, the opposite, plus 50%. Conversion speed in counties of a different culture, minus 50%. We won't really have to take use of this, because we're in the Riverlands, everyone around us follows the 7. Courtiers can take the vows and become devoted. Okay. What's this? County conversion resistance. Infidel vassals are less likely to join independence and populist factions. I like that. We have consecrated knighthood. Adherents are more likely to accept knighthood-related interactions. I forgot about all the knights and stuff. And then we have the most devout as well. New faiths keep the old head of faith. Characters can seek indulgences. Same, we can seek indulgences if we're criminals. And the head of faith can excommunicate. Right. For sins, lustful, lazy, impatient, arrogant, craven, arbitrary, sadistic. And then virtues is chaste, diligent, patient, humble, brave, just, and compassionate. I will quickly or slowly browse through here. The main ones I want to know is crime doctrines. Slavery is a new one. It's criminal. I don't think that was in the game when I last played. Same-sex relations are only shunned. Deviancy is criminal. Male adultery is shunned, whereas female adultery is criminal. Gotta love the equality in Westeros. Kinslaying, close kin is criminal, and witchcraft is criminal as well. And then we have the other stuff there if you want to take a look at it. We do have all of our holy sites -1, and I can't pick a patron because I don't have piety. Right, I think I might be ready to unpause. Do we have any new special decisions? We have the loan from the Iron Bank. I do remember that. I think for now, everything here is fine. Yes. Right. Let's equip our dagger. That gives us some intrigue and prowess. I shall await the marriage and we shall finally unpause. It took 16 minutes. That's quite fast compared to my usual part 1s. In fact, let's go at the 4 times speed. I'm feeling brave today. What to the perceptive Arwen? I gladly accept your betrothal proposition. You will be betrothed to my niece Corellin. How? Oh, she's 15. When do you turn 16? On the first moon. The first of the first moon. Okay, so about 1 year from now. Or I guess 8 months because it's the 4th moon? I think that's just like the 4th month. Probably. It makes sense. Right, I can create an accolade. I can also declare war on the stepstones. I'm not going to be doing that. Let's create an accolade. We can create 2, in fact. Okay. So we have Harbert here. Harbert is valiant. I like valiant. Clement would be stalwart as well. So we got army damage and army toughness here if we want it. Or... yes, I think we'll go for those. Right, Harbert, you're going to be valiant. Guys, if you have an accolade name suggestion for valiant, try to make it relate to the White Wood or House Blackbirch or whatnot, and our lore. Feel free to comment it, and I will pick my favorite one. So we have an accolade that favors valiant, and then we're also going to pick Clement, who has amazing armor here. He is going to be stalwart. I still probably mispronounce that quite terribly. Let's find a successor for you. And then just do that so we fix the knights. Because sometimes base game CK3, that becomes a problem. Right. The time has begun. Of course, we want to expand and take the Moonbrooks. And I'm thinking to begin with that we should probably do it through intrigue. Because they are much stronger than us. If I could marry, maybe get a hook and marry matrilineally here. Future generations, we could take over this. It's possible. To my vassal, as an influential lord, it is only fair that you have a voice on my council. In recognition of this fact, I hereby offer you the position of Spymaster of Willow Wood. Oh, thank you. And it seems like we start with a strong hook. Yes, right. Then I would like to modify my contract and get council rights straight away, I think. Yeah, let's do that. And I will use the hook as well so we don't lose anything. Thank you very much. So now we can demand to be Spymaster or whatever else we want in the future. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Also, so let's see. We don't need a court physician because I have the maester, of course. So let's go on advanced research. And right now, I'm not going to get any other positions until I start having children. Because we're not making a lot of gold. In fact, let's see. So we start with the dry moat. We can build farms and fields because we are in a plains here. So that gives us 0.25 taxes. One thing I always loved about this mod is kind of the slow build-up. Apiaries are good as well. A trade port is good because we can get some... development going. We also have breweries now too. Okay. Obviously, we're going to be focusing on a lot of gold in the capital. Feasts are cheaper. That's 0.25. Was there anything else? I think a few things gave 0.25. Trade ports is a little bit less, but we get the development as well. And the apiaries are the same as the farms and fields. Right, let's get the farms and fields, and then we'll get the apiaries too. I like that. It's going to take 3 years to build. That's fine. I also need to organize the council. Right. We're going to need a better steward. Kyle, you're going to become my steward. And I think... increased development. It's going to take 18 years. So in fact, collect the taxes, I think is better. I'm going to want the best spy master I can get. Sorin, you will become my spy master. But Wilbert here is a powerful vassal. He can be my chancellor though. So that's fine. Let's replace you. And then as for my chancellor, Master Wilbert, you can join here. And then Master at Arms. I guess Kyle, you're already here. You're my Castellan. You have Spy Master, which is good. I think... here, Gerald. You can become my Master at Arms. Train commanders. Hopefully you'll do an okay job. And you go on foreign affairs. We're looking fine now. We don't have any other castles. I might be able to build one here later on. But I do need 400 gold. So we can get ourselves a second castle on the road here. Maybe we could even charge a toll to any passing adventurers. Maybe. Maybe. Right. Should I increase crown authority? I think I should whilst we have the prestige. Let's get that up. As for my regent, I will change that once I marry the wife. Accolade successor has been found. Lovely stuff. So the big plan here is wait until I can have children. And then... we're going to get the marriages here. It's going to be slow. But I like the slow build-ups. I don't want to rush and whatnot like this. I also want to do more activities there. I've been invited to a grand wedding. I think we should attend this. How do I see that, though? I don't think I've been invited to it. It didn't pop up here, I don't think. So I guess I'm not doing that. And there we go. My dear wife, Corellin, has now taken my hand in marriage. And together we will achieve many great things. I think to start off with, I'm going to try and romance her from the get-go. I need my wife on my side if we are to commit intrigue and many other grand schemes. The time has come to let my feelings towards Lady Corellin be known. I want her to remember this day for the rest of her life. I think... what kind of woman is she? So she's brave, content, and stubborn. I think I will impress her by winning a sparring match because she is brave and I think she will appreciate my show of bravery as well. I recruit one of my most senior soldiers and practice with him for 3 days straight. Once he deems me ready, we head together to the main courtyard. As we begin to spar, a crowd gathers, and their cheers soon draw none other than the gallant Lady Corellin. The soldiers fight valiantly, but I disarm him with a final flawless thrust. I kneel before Corellin and declare my noble intentions. I dedicate this victory to you, Lady Corellin. Bringing you honor is my only desire. My sweetness is speechless, but clearly flattered. Why else would she be smiling fussily? And there we go. I think we made a very good first impression. Right. I'm married. Stuff is looking good. I'm going to actually have my wife as my regent. Let's designate her so everyone knows. And I'll put you on fill the coffers as well. I think that's everything we can do at the start. I think we are settled in. That's what the part ones are always about. Getting settled in, establishing our law, having a plan for the near future. It's all done. I'm going to keep my peasant hat. It reminds me from my humble beginnings. And I think it helps me connect to them as a... What's this? Laenor takes to the skies. So they've changed the events. A mixture of fear and exhilaration spreads like wildfire throughout the harbours and merchant halls. Laenor has managed to claim the grey beast to sea smoke. Let us hope he is not consumed by ambition. Oh, I like that the events pop up like this now. Oh, that's so cool. Oh man, I've missed a Game of Thrones, I won't lie. I mean, if you look at my channel, it's very clear which my favorite mods are, because they account for like 90% of my uploads. But yeah, I have missed it here. Sweet Lady Corellin, I sigh as I kneel before her. My only desire is to bring you honor and happiness. Pray tell with me, how can I prove my love for you? Lady Corellin hesitates and her cheeks turn red. But father, I hope she is pleased and not embarrassed. Slay a wolf for me and bring me its pelt. Then we may continue this conversation. Can I slay a wolf? There is a chance. 61% chance. Could do 65 here. I could slay a dog in the kennel and try and trick her. Your wish is my command. I can slay a wolf. There we go. Now we have plus 10% base success chance. We have a 61% chance to romance the wife right now, which I think is very pleasant. Now, I could go up to 5 times speed, but I'll be honest. I kind of don't want to. The early game is fun, and I want to enjoy it whilst it lasts. There is no woman lovelier than Lady Corellin. In her presence, my words often fail me. None of my compliments ever do her justice. Perhaps a carefully drafted poem would better capture her virtues. I will write about her... let's see. This one is tough. This is tough. I could say youthful vigor. I think that would make sense. I wouldn't say she has burning faith or is forgiving, but her youthful vigor stands out to me. To the loathsome Arwood. Oh man. Your musk is like a burning stick. That's because of my history, my love. Do you not know about the great rebellion of the Whitewood? I really want to smooch you, that I may know if your prowess carries off the battlefield. Please be the Uther to my Maris. Wait, she's clearly mocking me. For a moment, I thought she was actually on to me, but it was just sarcasm. My wife is not a fan of me now, apparently. Okay, I will avoid poetry at all costs. It is a well-known fact that courtiers will scheme and plot, but I may be able to use this to my advantage. If I can keep my courtiers suspicious of each other and distracted with infighting, they will not have the time or resources to scheme against me. I think as long as I place some spies among them, I will be safe. The people love me. Let's not forget about that. Right, no player. I'm working on it, game. Don't you worry about that. And there we go. Fate smiles upon me. My wife is bearing my child. I cannot wait to hold the babe in my arms. Oh, I can make an offering to the Oh, yes. I will make an offer. Corellin deserves it. She has done her duty proudly. And now we have enough piety to also choose a patron. So let's do that. First though, as of late, all my visits to Corellin have been ruined by my knight Egon. He follows her everywhere like a lost puppy. His attempts to charm the lady are laughable, yet I fear his persistence will be rewarded. There's no way she falls for Egon here. I think a duel will prove who is worthy. It seems like I underestimated his abilities. My defeat at his hands was painful and embarrassing in equal measure. My only solace is that Lady Corellin was not there to witness it. I will have my vengeance, trust my word, Egon. And already we have our first rivalry, right? Let's see. I can't abduct you, can I? I mean, I can fabricate a hook. Let's do that. I thought we needed perks to fabricate a hook. Enables the fabricate hook scheme. Apparently, I can fabricate hooks from the get-go. Maybe it's because he's my knight, or because he's my rival. Okay, we're learning new things. But I can't let this stand. A rival challenger for my wife's love has arrived. And he thought that he could embarrass me in a duel. Let's fabricate the hook. We're gonna go on scheme phase length, I think. And I shall try my best. I can probably auto-invite agents. However, let's just do this for the time being. Can be convinced, yeah, you guys would join anyway. I don't want to spend money right away. Infiltrator footpad socialite. Benefits. They benefit from different... okay, I see. Right, that's why the list was different each time. And Justin, you're going to go on secrecy. So 36 days for every phase. I think we'll save up for 20 advantages. We are technically now playing the Game of Thrones. I feel like we're properly immersed in the Westeros now. We're back, lads. We're back. Okay, we'll deal with them. Hopefully we'll have a child soon. And hopefully the farms and fields will be built and we will grow riches. But guys, that's already been 30 minutes. I know the first episode always goes fast because we like to read everything and whatnot. But I'm going to wrap it up here. Remember, if you have child name suggestions, one at a time, feel free to comment them. I will add them to the name list. Remember to specify whether it's son or daughter. Also pick an education focus if you want to. You don't have to. And secondly, if you have any name suggestions for our accolades here, feel free to comment those as well. But guys, that's going to be it for today. We are back in a Game of Thrones. It feels good. I will be back tomorrow. Daily uploads of this. Thank you for watching as always. I will see you next time.